to get started. But we're getting there, right? We always get there. All right, if you hear stuff in the background, that is Dylan. He is practicing. And because we are live, we don't care. We don't care if he's practicing. His practicing is the priority. He's getting a degree in practicing, seems like. Okay, what kind of music are we looking for? Hey Jennifer, the Curly Stitcher, inspirational. Yes. Hey Ashley. How do I get the... Oh. Ooh, that's loud. Sorry. I always forget this. That it starts really loud. Alright, so this morning you're going to get... Hey Zen. We're going to get some trumpet music and then some desktop music. So in a way, DJ Backstitch is making himself known by playing along to the music somehow. Hey, welcome. I know, Kaylee, your lighting is not great. It's because I'm using one light in this room, and we have yet to get, where is it? There it is. We have yet to get some lamps, but we have most of our furniture. Wow! We have furniture, sort of. Okay, so here's the story. Good morning, Nicole. It's great. I'm just gonna start backwards chronologically, because yesterday we got the remainder of our stuff out of our pod. So Friday, U-Haul was like, hey, your pod's here. And so we were like, yay, can we access it? And they were like, yeah, I guess. And so we took I think it was 3 carloads of boxes, whatever we could take in the car. And we just went back and forth. And then I got to unpack some of our clothes. I have more clothes than just 1 week's worth. What am I even gonna stitch on? Maybe I could stitch some today, huh? I got our clothes unpacked. And what else? Just organized a little bit. And then yesterday was when we got our furniture that was in the pod, like our bookshelf and our smaller desk, which is not what I'm on right now. We have fun, exciting news, y'all. The desk that I bought came early. Woo! And it was supposed to come tomorrow, but it came yesterday, and I put it together because I was so excited. It's pretty big. I like it. I need to find a new place for my microphone. I keep turning away from it. And if I keep it over here, then I can't. Maybe I'll put my pattern over here. So then when I'm looking at my pattern, then I'm just talking into the microphone so y'all can hear me. Cross stage. Hey Vanessa. New furniture is the bomb. So we have been here a week, 10 days because we came here last Thursday. Yeah. And we are on the 6th floor. I don't even know why I said 5th. We're on the 6th floor, and a small elevator. So our bed frame we got from IKEA. As much as I did not want to do that, we became normies, and it's from IKEA. What are we doing? Let's do purple, huh? Okay, I say that not to shame anyone who loves IKEA, because I do not blame you for the convenience that it is. But I try to be aware of things that have been gently used and just need a new home. Right? Like, I just want to see if I can contribute to not creating more waste. Bed frame was like, well, where are we gonna find a bed frame that's not assembled yet, that we're just gonna have to deal with when we move out, and a mattress that we have tried and we like. One-stop shop IKEA. They've made it too easy, y'all. IKEA has made it too easy to shop for furniture and assemble it at home. And if you don't know this about me yet, now you do. I love assembling furniture. I love it. Except when they put screws in places that are hard to screw in and they give you an Allen wrench to screw it in. That's kind of dumb. So yeah, we got all of our stuff yesterday, and in addition, the place where we got our table and chairs, it's called Second Chance, and it's a furniture outlet basically that has used furniture, used anything, basically anything household, and they just sell it. And I think it's a nonprofit, and they do like charity work as well. So we wanted to support that, and so we were like, we need a TV stand, we need a couch. And while we have rented our U-Haul van, let's go and get some of those things. Let's get the TV stand, let's get a couch. And so we went, and we started looking at the couches. Well, first we started looking at the TV stands, and we were like, okay, we really like this one. It has lots of spaces for CDs, because oh yeah, very, very adventurous to get a bed. Oh my goodness, you assembled it without the directions? See, that's part of the fun, is just being able to follow the directions, and then when you mess it up, you're like, oh, well, I should have read the directions. I love knowing whose fault things are, even if it's my own. We started looking at, side note, or as Ymir says, sidebar. See how fast I respond to comments, or how fast I read them, because I think we got some pretty good internet. CDs, yes, my husband has lots of CDs, mostly from when he would buy them when he was a teenager, but we have lots of CDs. Like, I don't want to try to say how many he has. I think he's gonna try to get rid of a couple. Why did I put this? Oh, okay, it's just like that. Okay. Yeah, so we have lots of CDs, and this one beautiful TV stand, huge. We wanted it, but then we started looking at it, and we were like, this is gonna suck to move in and out, because I was like, okay, let's try to lift it. We lifted it from the top. It was like, we could lift it, but it was kind of weird. And then I was like, okay, let's try lifting it from the bottom, like lifting it all the way up, and it was really heavy. So I don't want to say that we were lazy. I want to say that we just were thinking ahead to the future and saying this is gonna not be fun to move in or out. And the entrance to our apartment has like a pretty narrow entryway. And then, so we started looking at couches because we were like, okay, we need a couch. We ended up finding a TV stand that's smaller, that's just fine for what we need. It's actually decently long. So we were just like, I haven't even stitched a lick, y'all. I've been live for 10 minutes. I'm so sorry. See, we can talk about ourselves all day, can't we? Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah, couches. And we were like, we don't want to move a full-size couch in. It's gonna be too much. It was just too much. And then, so we started looking at love seats and started sitting in a whole bunch. Thankfully, they had them all like in the same area and the prices were visible, so we could see, what we wanted, if we wanted it for the price. And then I was like, Dylan, do we even need a love seat? Because these look big. Like, I don't know if they'll fit in the elevator or through our small apartment area. Why don't we just look for individual chairs, comfy chairs? So there was like some sets of recliners, and then I sat down in this red chair, and it was fate, because I'm gonna be weird and talk about chairs for a sec. It hugs your bottom and supports your back. So like you collapse, or you sink into the chair, and it gives you lots of bounce and niceness, but then you don't like slouch back. It actually has a stiff back, and it's just like, I feel relaxed, but I also feel like my posture's not terrible. And the best part was it had been there for a long time, and they do this thing where the longer it's been, the lower the price is. So they just want to get stuff in and out. And originally it was maybe like $75 or something. That thing had been there so long that he sold it to us for $15. So this fabulous chair, here, let me show you. This fabulous chair was $15. $15! Y'all, $15. I don't care if it doesn't match. I don't care if it doesn't match anything. It's $15. Like, and it's light. It was super light. And then, I don't know if you saw, this is one that Dylan picked out. It's a lazy boy. And the only issue with it is that the footrest doesn't go up. Oh, see, I already hung my puzzle. The picture of Dylan and I. And put all of our books in the bookshelf, which, who knew that books take up so much room? I mean, I know that books take up a lot of boxes because you have to pack them small, right? You can't pack books in a huge box, otherwise you'll break your back. Thank you, Zen. And so we had 10 boxes of books. Books. So those were much easier to move than a couch or a love seat. And then of course we have the chair that I'm sitting in that Dylan was very happy to have. Oh, I'm not even showing you my stitching. I didn't say anything. Hello darkness, my old friend. Oh, true. I didn't even think of that. That's a great idea. Slip covers. So we have this chair that I'm sitting in. So we actually have five chairs. I don't know if I gushed about the table and chairs that we found last week at the same place, second chance. But we found a dining room table and 2 chairs. They weren't sold together, or they weren't placed together. I was just like, ooh, these chairs look really fun. And it's the same thing. It gives you a springy butt and supported back. think I showed you that in my floss tube. So second chance has been great, and it was like, I would say the hardest thing to move into the apartment what was the hardest thing? It was all pretty easy. Unless I can count the bed frame that came in 5 boxes. The IKEA bed frame. Yeah, we did a pretty good job of not like packing too huge. Maybe the TV stand. The TV stand was a little... See, everything that we brought up here was not too heavy. Now moving out will be a different story, because that bed frame, not excited. I'm already not excited, and I know that we'll be here for 2 years. I know it's gonna suck. Okay, I'm gonna carry my thread. Whoa! Oh goodness, give me a second. Sorry. See, look at this is not real wood. Okay, so the ways that I contributed to buying new furniture and not buying used was the desk. Because I knew I wanted a big desk, and I knew that would be hard to move in here. Washer, dryer, bed set. Yep. See those items that were just sucky to move. You're like, I know I'm gonna have to move this out. So I'm keeping tabs. The ways... Oh no. Hoarders, oh my goodness. If anything makes you feel like... Boy, Hoarders is a great show. Because you can look at someone and be like, why do they have so much stuff? Excuse me, that's the chair, not me. That just was very, very, you could hear that very well. Oh my goodness, I've had like 4 trains of thought in the last 2 seconds. Hoarders is a great show. We watched it in high school, and I am a different person than I was in high school. And I used to think, oh, they don't have any self-control. Those people, how did they let themselves get that way? But then after being in therapy for the last year, I guess, I was watching that show again, and I was like, oh wow, I feel for these people, like learning about ways that you this is going to sound negative, but I don't mean it that way. Like that your self-control gets rocked. Like you don't have self-control. You don't have control because it's something else. It's not you, it's something else that is creating the behavior or expectations that somebody else has for you. Things like that. I don't know. I think I'm talking about something that I haven't thought thoroughly through. So I think I'm gonna just stop talking about that. Yes, Hoarders is a fascinating, great show. I haven't been reading some of these comments. Yeah. Yes, I agree. Okay, before that, I was talking about contributing to waste. So, like I said, moving out of this apartment will be much more difficult than moving in because of the things that I have assembled in the apartment. The two things that I have assembled, which are a bed frame, which is extremely heavy. We got one that has drawer storage, and just for giggles, we tried to lift it and we couldn't. So we'll have to slightly disassemble. But this desk might be a little bit easier because I remember where I can disassemble it and take it out in pieces. Which I like this desk. I will probably keep this for a long time. I also, as I have been shopping for furniture and stuff, I've been thinking, I still live in an apartment. I don't live in a house. I probably won't live in a house for a while. So I have no qualms with shopping for cheap stuff or used stuff, and I think when if we get a house, I'm probably gonna do the same. Like I'm gonna try not to get such brand new stuff, but also I'm probably gonna be more concerned about, does it match? Right now I just don't care. I don't care. If it's comfortable, then it's great. But I forgot what it's like to stitch on this, y'all. Oh, this is so good. I love it. I love this linen. It's like very smooth. Yeah, so I just don't feel like buying new stuff right now. So you don't break the bank. And you choose convenience over what do you choose it over? Matching? What's that called? Appearances. Convenience over appearances, I guess. Because there's, in the back of my mind, because I live in this weird world that thinks that everything needs to match and look beautiful. Hey, Ashley. Yeah, exactly. Get my secondhand stuff and learn how to DIY. And of course, everything is made so cheaply these days. Like IKEA, I get it. It's convenience. But it's not like it's not like any advanced sort of skills are needed to put it together, or lots of time, because usually their IKEA furniture is supposed to be like, oh, you can put it together right away and use it right away, which it's great. Yeah, but we then now have this idea that everything should come very quickly and easily and simply, which I'm not saying that I have not participated, because I just told you that I did. But it's just like, well, is there maybe can we change this idea that because of how wasteful it is, because of how quickly people throw away this crappy furniture. Okay, I need to stop hating on IKEA because I have not really bought a lot of their products, so I don't know, but I'm talking about like the easy furniture that you can get on Amazon, because I've done my fair share of those too, and it's pretty, or like Walmart or Target, the cheapest ones that you can get. They're pretty cheap. They don't last long. Yes, Ashley, thank you. I saw that comment, but I didn't respond to it. I'm glad we're here too. We're doing well. Before you're allowed to get married, you must assemble a dresser from IKEA. That's funny. Also, before you get married, you need to... Not need to. It's a good idea to know what each other's strengths are. Or while you're married. or in any relationship. Because, like, I suck at making appointments for myself, doing the, like, making an appointment to go get my license changed, for example, or changing the car insurance, or calling the electric company, or calling the internet provider. I suck at that. I get in my head about it. I'm so because I associate a lot of shame with it because I don't like to do it. So then I'm like, you suck, Kaylee. In a nutshell. But Dylan is awesome at that. He'll just get it done. And he doesn't associate any, like, he's not like, oh, you haven't done this for a long time. No, he doesn't do, he's just like, okay, let me just do it. But I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but I'm a little bit more savvy when it comes to putting together furniture or fixing something. Like, I'm pretty good at that kind of thing. Or figuring something out, figuring out how it works. So we know our strengths, and he's been very good. Like, scheduling a U-Haul box, he did all that. Paying for it, keeping track of bills. Like, he's very, very good at that stuff. I was thinking about this. Like, I'm really lucky that I found someone who compliments me in that way. I was thinking about that yesterday. Like, imagine if we both sucked at scheduling things. I guess we would just have to get better and work on it. Is this me saying that I'm just okay with being bad at something and not working on it? He does, however, he makes me, like, schedule my own health appointments and stuff. I didn't grow up doing that, though. Like, I didn't go to the doctor very much when I was a kid. Cheers. Good morning. Happy Sunday. I'm on this new desk, so I'm like, oh, I bumped something. What is it? This is where I've been keeping my orts. In this little tea thing that I bought off a kid because he was selling stuff, and at the gas station, and he was like, hey, do you want something? I'm going to Europe, so buy something from me. And I was like, okay. I didn't drink the tea. I think I ended up throwing it away because it was so old. But then I was like, oh, this is a great little box for orts. I put it in there. I haven't decided what I want to do with my orts. I never kept my orts until I saw Kim Hollenbach. She has this clear lamp that she's putting all her orts in and filling it up. And it's big. It's like lamp. And I was like, ooh, that's a cool idea. So then I just started collecting them. We'll see what actually happens with them. So in other news, getting all of our stuff, now I have all my Stitchy stuff, and because there's no other place to put it, it's just sitting underneath this desk. There's lots of room under this desk. It's big. It's like 57 inches, and then it has a 57 inches thing this way too. I love it. I would show it to you, but I'm wearing really short shorts, and I don't think I'm comfortable showing you my legs yet. Just kidding. Your orts are everywhere. I mean, I also, well, yeah, I do. I have a little, like, ort catcher, but now I just have the box. You know, it's something, I feel like maybe orts would tell us something about ourselves. Like, if you keep orts, you're a certain kind of person. If you keep orts because everyone else is keeping orts, then you're a certain kind of person. Or a personality trait, I guess. You're a bad person if you keep orts. Just kidding. Or, like, if you just throw them away. Or if they're everywhere. Or if they're everywhere. We're all different people, but we get along and we love each other, right? So if you didn't watch my floss tube, I have been in new teacher training, and it's been really good. All last week there was this new teacher summer institute where we talk about strategies, learn a little bit about special ed, and learn about so it was all virtual, and they had these morning sessions where we heard speakers from the district, we heard from the president of the teachers union, we heard from the CEO of BCPS, Baltimore City Public Schools. I think we're going to do a Christmas ball for the year. Oh yeah, Christmas ball. I know Alma throws away her orts because it's kind of cathartic for her, which is totally valid. It's like, okay, put that year in the past. Anyway, so it was all virtual, and there were some sessions that everyone attended, and then some that you got to choose. So we heard from really great speakers who, it seemed like the theme was breathe. Breathe. If something is going wrong, just take a breath. You got this. Be chill. We got you. You got yourself. Stay calm. And then on some of the days we met with the content area coordinators, like the music people. So for some of the time I was starting lesson plans, and this was geared towards people who are in their first year of teaching. Like, this is your first year, but also new to. Oh no! I just spilled coffee all over. I knew this would not pour very well. Okay. Pause. I need to go get something. I'm gonna put this at the ceiling so you don't see me. I spilled my coffee. I spilled it good too. How come thermoses don't pour very well? Or I mean, like, ones that you just like. This is a brand new desk coffee. It's okay, it's like fake wood, so it'll be fine. Oh yeah, I was talking about Baltimore City Public Schools. It was like the theme was breathe, and also what I really loved about it, after my year of therapy, and let me just say that I don't think everyone would agree with this approach. So if you don't, that's okay. If you don't agree with this approach, then that's totally fine with me. I understand. Maybe. But in my arc of starting to teach, like, and feeling like I'm an authoritarian teacher, like the kids will listen to me, they will understand me, they will be amazing. I thought that I was capable of that through authoritarian teaching. And I very quickly learned about myself that that's not the way that I want to teach. I don't want to use shame. I don't want to use humiliation. I don't want to point out a mistake and treat it like a negative thing. For me. And that was what I thought that I would teach like when I was a first-year teacher. And it took me observing another teacher and being like, oh, the kids talk over me a lot, don't they? And I was like, oh, all these values that I thought I had as a teacher had gone out the window. And because I think that I was allowing myself to just feel out the students and see that they wanted to just like have a good time. And my priorities changed also when I realized, oh, I have 800 students. I was like, why can't I remember my students' names? That's like the first thing that you should know is your students' names, obviously. And I didn't really realize that I had so many students when I was teaching in my first year. And so I was basically forced to learn that if I wanted to stay happy in my classroom and I wanted to keep the kids somewhat on an emotional level where they feel welcome or they feel like this is a place where I can have fun in music, then I needed to change my teaching. Because yeah, I could be a nasty teacher. I could just, sit in silence until everyone else is silent. And I tried that sometimes. And I hated it. I didn't feel good after I did that kind of lesson. I remember very specifically a 6th grade class that I felt like I had no control over. Which was I was so mad. I was like, why don't they listen to me? They hate me. I took it personally. And, this is hindsight talking, but kids, they don't mean it in a personal way if they're misbehaving. So this class, there was one time I remember that I was teaching them keyboards, like piano, and I was doing it in a very arbitrary way. Like I wasn't letting them explore on the instrument. I was just like controlling. And at the end of the lesson, after I had controlled them and been that like, we're not gonna play until y'all are quiet, they left my classroom and I did a celebratory, yes, I got it. And I said, yes, I controlled them. And immediately after, I felt this like gut feeling like, I don't want to teach like that. And I started crying because first of all, I was so like happy, but not really. I was like, oh, I did it the way that I think that teaching should work. I controlled them. They did what I wanted to, but they were not happy about it. I mean, yeah, your kids shouldn't be screaming all the time in your classroom, but I just like felt in the pit of my stomach. I was like, this is not the way that I want to teach. I don't want to put the content or the results over the process. And I also, in my first year, very early on, I would say this was like October at the latest, I had a 5th grader who was disruptive. They were just like talking over me and interrupting and being loud while I was trying to teach. And I kept them after and I asked them, do you know how hard it is for me to teach when you are behaving that way? And they came right back with, do you know how hard it is for me to sit quietly? And I was like, whoa, you're using my logic against me. Stop. I was like, no, I don't. Because I haven't been thinking about you. I've been only thinking about myself. I've been so worried about me and me getting it right that I haven't even been thinking about what it's like to try to sit still for a kid. And I was like, oh, my scope is so small. I need to do something. And okay, all this to say, my friends, that I am no expert, but I am very glad that I am learning these things now. So that was part of the training for these past few days, or the past week, was like, consider what the students are going through. You're gonna meet students who are going through a lot, but they understand, and you understand, that they're in the classroom to learn, and so on. Anyway, teaching lessons have been very good for me, and I don't think I even said what I originally was gonna say. So in this training, like, another theme was from the speakers, meaning people who are kind of higher up at the district, director of educational activities or whatnot. Oh, I don't need to go on that one. I need to go on this one. Yeah, each student has a different background. Totally true. And so what a theme was, you need to take care of you first. Get plenty of rest, make work time, and do not touch work in your personal time. There were lots of classes on, like, mindfulness for teachers, meditation for teachers. There's this great initiative that the district's putting on that is basically a health program where you have access to fitness classes if you want them, to I think it's one or maybe it was 6 sessions, like 6 therapy sessions if you want them. And it's all free through the district. So they are offering this initiative that's about making sure that the teacher is feeling good, like that the teacher is taking care of themselves first. And I think this is kind of a new thing to approach teacher training as, you need to take care of yourself first, because if you're not taking care of yourself, you can't teach your students how to do that. You can't teach your students how to regulate or understand their emotions, understand what they're feeling. Because I remember feeling really overwhelmed in my first year and being like, it's all me, it's my fault. When, a lot of things, there's just so many factors at play, and it's not your fault. Some things aren't. That's not to like never take blame for something, because obviously there are things that we are in control of, but it's good. It's really cool to have that sort of training that's like, focus on yourself first, and then you can teach the students how to do the same for themselves. If you ever want a PD, classroom management, and oh, cool. Yeah. Zan, this seems, this, Baltimore specifically, it's no secret that they are a low performing, as far as academic goes, a low performing district. And there have been lots of reasons why that is true. And some of those reasons are political, so I don't think I'm going to talk about it very much. But there are some problems that have arisen because of who lives in the district, who goes to public school, who goes to private school. That's just the truth of it. And one thing that they said, that more than one person said in this teacher training, was, whatever you have learned about Baltimore City Public Schools, whatever you think that you've learned, leave it at the door, be in it, learn about it, and then you can decide what the truth is for yourself. And I think that's a really good thing to tell 600 new teachers, is don't take somebody else's word for it. Take your own word for it. Be in it. Give it a chance. I'm in the early 8 years, so I thought Rero. I have not. Let me write it down. If I can find a pen and paper. So Zan, that's an interesting question. Do kids have to pay for school? Public school in the United States, public school, no. And also there are initiatives in lower income communities where they offer free school lunch and they offer free school supplies. I know that where I grew up in a small town, and so I had to buy like notebooks, pencils, paper, all that stuff. But in the district that I worked in California, students did not have to buy anything for themselves. Ashley, you're giving me lots of good ideas and good tips. If only I can find a pencil or a pen. PD on classroom management and process over product, or supporting learners through play. Is process over product the... Oh, gotcha. Supporting learners through play. And then fairy dust teaching. Rero. Reaching out, reaching in. Oh! Reaching in, reaching out. Back to Zan's question. Do students have to pay for school? So then, I feel like specifically what's happened in Baltimore City is in the public schools. So Baltimore has a very high Black population because of history. It's a long story and I don't understand it. Obviously, I have a lot more to learn about it. So then, if there's a family who is of a higher class, and they decide that they don't want their child in Baltimore City Public Schools for whatever reason, I'm not going to say that there's a specific reason, but they can take their students and put them in a private school. So private schools in the United States do not receive any government funding, but they receive funding from donors and people with lots of money, historically. And so then they have a higher quality education. And I have, when I was applying for jobs here, I was applying for anything. I was like, okay, if I get a public school job, great. If I get a private school job, great. But it seems like the jobs at private schools are very focused on content, and performance. So the jobs that I was applying for were yeah, you're going to be the music teacher, but also we want a performing arts teacher who will put on really great musicals. So the opportunities, and also with that, we have the money to put them on. Musicals are expensive, and it's just the licensing alone costs a lot of money, especially if you're doing shows like Disney shows. The ones that I was doing at my district, the district shelled out for those, for the licensing for those shows. And the licensing is just for a year. So if you put on that musical and you don't want to do it again next year, or you don't want to do it again, like you don't want to do it in the fall and the spring, legally, you could get in trouble for doing that show again 2 years from now and not relicensing it. So it's very expensive. So schools with a lot of money, they can just throw it at that. Now, Baltimore City Public Schools has had extra government funding because of the low performance academically. And they pay their teachers really well because they have a really high turnover rate, because it's a different environment from most school districts in the country. And so, like, what's interesting about the training that we got was focus on yourself, focus on your own mental health first. And it's almost like less of it, it's so much less focus on academics and academic performance. I've heard not very much about getting students to have good test scores. Not very much. And I think part of it is helping combat the idea that, oh, this is low performing, so you're going to be that too. It's empowering the teachers first, and then empowering the students. And also there's a very big focus on community and family engagement, so talking to families. I've heard multiple times, call your parents in the first week, because if you have an issue with a student later in the year and you don't have a relationship established with the family, they're not going to believe you. They don't, if I say, oh, so-and-so has been acting up in choir this week, they'll be like, okay, I don't believe you because that's not what my child says. And I totally get that. Like, normally I would be like, oh, the teacher's right and everything. But no, it's, when I think about it, it's like, well, why would they trust me if I haven't tried to make a relationship with them or build a rapport with them? Like, I get it. I wouldn't trust somebody who I don't know to tell me what my child was doing. I have not done very much stitching, and I've been live for 53 minutes. Yay! It's been a good live. Thanks for listening, y'all. Thanks for listening to me talk about that stuff. Also, the union president, ooh, she's a boss. She's awesome. So she addressed us and am I allowed to talk about this on the internet? Yeah, it's public. I think it's okay. So the union president of the teachers union often, maybe I'm saying this for Zen because this is the United States, where she said something really funny. So in the sessions that we attended, everyone, so there's like 600 new teachers in the district, and in the sessions where everyone attended, there was a chat, but nobody could see us. Like, we could see them, but nobody could see us. So there's a chat where you could ask questions. It was actually called the Q&A. And somebody asked, we have to join the union? I thought that was automatic. I thought you automatically joined the union. And she said, no, this is America. You have to give permission for money to be taken out of your paycheck for union dues. I was like, oh, that's true. You know, in America, you definitely, your money is your money, except if there's taxes. And what happened to our music? And you have to consent to money being taken out of your paycheck. So she was like, no, this is America. She also said that about some other things. This is America. But I don't think I'm comfortable. See, it's such a different world than where I grew up. It's way different from California. It's really funny. I got to talking to one of the other new teachers, and we were talking about how, like, every corner of the United States is different than the next. It's like accents. You wonder how people have that kind of accent, but it's just a different part of the world. It's a different part of the world, and the US is such a big country with 350 million, with the idea that you're free to do almost whatever you want, and that causes so many problems. Yeah. Exactly, Vanessa. Lots of unique problems and unique places and people. And then, and I'm going to say this because I was one of these people. I was like, oh, everybody's the same in the US. That's sort of a common feeling, like, oh, united as one. We're all American. Yeah, but you have to consider, you know, America, where there can be 300 people that have the same amount of wealth as the other 349, 700, or 900,900 people. I feel like the more that you are in my lives, the more you'll know what I'm thinking about these days. This is America. Yeah. So I am optimistic. One thing that I really love about my job, my new job, is that, well, there's lots of things, but my principal is very communicative. Is that a word? Is that how to say that he's very good at communication? Like, I sent him an email and he replied the same day. That's really good. I've been brainstorming, like, first day activities for my first day of choir. I'm thinking about ways to engage the students in music making. Oops, I never trimmed that. Sorry. Not sorry. Just if you get it, you get it. If you don't, it's okay. I'm excited to watch Noah when he finally uploads another floss tube and tells us about his teaching. I am teaching 6th grade through 8th grade. So, a new age group for me. I'm terrified. But I'm also really excited. Yeah, I can, should I say that here? I'll have to think about if I want to tell you what I did in relation to teaching. So I'm teaching 6th through 8th. Choir specifically, but we're going to learn lots of different things. So this upcoming week, I don't really have anything, although I think I'm going to pop in on the special ed training. They're doing a virtual online training for special ed teachers, but I think I would like to attend those sessions if I can, because I can always learn more about special ed and how to help those kiddos, how to support. Yeah, I kind of have a feeling. Oh, sorry, Ashley, I didn't see your last one about online or in person. The plan for Baltimore City is to be in person. The numbers in Maryland are not too bad, but we're only at the beginning of this Delta variant stuff. Thanks, Anne. I haven't worked on this project as some of my other projects in a long time because I thought that I brought the flosses with me on the road, but I did not. That's the first thing I did when I opened my Stitchy stuff. I was like, do I have those flosses? Oh, yep, there they are, right on top. So I thought that I had brought them and I didn't. I was gonna stitch on this on another live. Yeah, I have a feeling. Hopefully I can meet some students in person, but also just need to be safe and cautious. Although, I'm wondering what the vaccination percentage is for our junior high schools. Because, what is it, 12? As young as 12 can get the vaccine? So, I don't know. I can't imagine that Baltimore City Public Schools would keep, like, only their, well, I don't know. I wonder if they would keep their junior highs open, but close their elementary. I don't know. Well, and of course do you remember when we were in the beginning of the pandemic and we were like, oh, well, at least it doesn't affect children. Yeah, that lasted a long time. Now the Delta variant does affect children. What a weird, confusing, annoying, hard to understand time we live in, huh? It's hard. It's very weird. Also, a theme How the how the turntables. I need to get Peacock so I can watch The Office again. I miss it. Hey, DJ Backstitch. We'll have to get him on here again and do that weird, like, music warper again. Oh, I was saying another theme of my teacher training was teaching is one of the hardest jobs, but also one of the most important and rewarding jobs. And also, for me personally, there is no shame in stopping stopping being a teacher, because it is hard. Absolutely no shame. No feelings of, well, you just weren't cut out for it. Nope, it's hard. It's incredibly difficult. Oh no. Ashley, that's very unfortunate. That's a good name. I like that name, Delta. Yeah, I'm going to need to invest in a camera so I don't have to use my phone, because this is not a very good front-facing camera. I mean, back-facing camera. It's connected to the internet. My phone is. That's how I'm using this, and it's not working out very well. Sometime in the future, I will buy a camera that can be used for this. And Delta Airlines. I'm ready for it to be over, just for the sole fact that I'm sick of hearing silly jokes from my husband. He keeps saying, I just can't wait for the Southwest variant so I can use all my points. He's not listening. I think he has headphones in. Oh. Oh, y'all, I might finish this motif today. Maybe? We'll see. I think I just have the green to fill in here, and then some other things to do here. Dylan's gonna use his Southwest points to kick Corona. Yeah, we racked up a lot of points because we had flights scheduled and then canceled. Dylan's jokes are on another level. I feel like I at the beginning of our dating relationship, I laughed too much at them because I don't know if I just don't find them funny anymore. But I don't laugh as much, but he still makes the jokes. And they're funny. They are funny jokes because they're just so obviously dumb. Dumb jokes. Well, that was a song. think we're done with the purple. It took me an hour and 10 minutes to just do this purple. Oh well, that's okay. Y'all, I can't wait to... I'm gonna start a new project. I'm gonna start the Barnyard Animals project. A new full coverage. Ashley, I'm not catching up to you. But I'm starting a new Haid. Here, let me show it to you. In case you forgot what it looks like. I wonder if... give me a second. Let me see if I can, no, I'm not gonna be able to figure it out. Here's what I'm starting. My giveaway winner, the person who won this, started it already. She was like, I'm gonna get a head start. And if you forgot the story, I'm just gonna tell it to you again. I bought this because my friend Lindsay was like, hey, have you seen this pattern on Haid? And I was like, no, it has cows in it. Which, if you forgot, I used to milk cows, so cows have a special place in my heart. And it was right after my pattern buying ban was up, and I was buying that Randall Spangler one too, the Starry Night, the Starry Cats, and I was like, okay, I'll just buy two patterns because I want to stitch them eventually. And then I bought two. Oh, you got your first Q-snap. Cool, Zan. Yay. Congratulations. I hope it wasn't too expensive to ship to South Africa. Yeah, that time that I had the new computer and I was impatient, so I clicked buy again, and then I got 2 copies of those patterns. And so Wendy's, that's what my giveaway was. Wendy started it. She sent me a picture of it like a day after I had sent her the pattern. So I need to start that. But let me ask y'all, I want to do something on 40 count, and I also, the person who inspired my 40 count trying is Stitchin' Mommy, Sarah the Stitchin' Mommy, and she does, most of her projects are, let me see if I can explain this, most of her projects are top, or left to right, top to bottom. So she chooses a symbol in the top left corner and stitches a strand of it until it runs out. Then she chooses the next one and stitches a strand of it until it runs out. And then the next one, and so on. So she goes like a book, top to left, top to left, right to left, left to right, top to bottom. And I've been, so I use diagonal stitching, as you know, diagonal parking. Should I make myself big for this? Yeah, I'll probably end this pretty soon. I use diagonal stitching, which I love. And I also love doing half stitch. I think I'm gonna like, of course this is not a hard and fast rule, but I might just like say, if the pattern is over 100,000 stitches, I'm not gonna do it full cross. I'm just gonna do it half stitch. And I want to start another 40 count. And I've been wanting to try that method, but I also, I don't know. I just am very spoiled in my diagonal stitching in that I don't have to put my needle up in a hole that has threads in it already. I'm sure you've heard me talk about this a bunch. Oh, I've been missing the comments. Your Q-snap was from South African supplier. Oh. Oh my goodness. $50? They're not that expensive here, are they? Oh, I feel bad. Yeah. I agree, Vanessa. Anyway. I love diagonal stitching, but I also realize that it takes a little bit more time. And so if it's half stitch, then every hole has 2 threads in it instead of 4. So if you're stitching full cross, then this top left, top right has 4 threads in it. Unless you're stitching half stitch, then it's only 2. So it's easier to put your needle up in a hole that already has threads. And I kind of miss cross-country stitching. As much as I love diagonal stitching and parking, I kind of miss cross-country. Because I was stitching on Iowa, and I stitched like 300 stitches in 2 hours, which is a lot because I only had one color. And the pattern was really easy. I mean, I wasn't going back and forth. Okay, we're going to close that so that I stop using my battery. So I think I might do Barnyard on 40 count because I still have a lot of it. And use that method. Left to right, top to bottom. I think I also might buy a scroll frame for that. I don't know. Let's see. Well, this was such a fun stream. I missed last week because I had a lot to talk about and I didn't stitch very much, which is okay. I'll have time to stitch more today. I also we're mostly moved in, but I do have some all of the musical instruments. I need to organize all those. We still do need to get some like end table things for our chairs, maybe a footrest for our chairs. Yeah, we just have some more organizing to do. I think we have maybe like 7 or so boxes that are still unopened. So finding what things we need to keep, like curtains. We don't really need curtains because there's blinds on all the windows, and I'm gonna try not, actually I'm not gonna bang nails in these walls, because a lot of the walls are this like really cool thing, and I don't want to put holes in these walls. Some of them are just regular walls, but it's in our lease or in our agreement that we're not supposed to put holes in the wall, so I don't think I will. I think Lovecraft scrolls are for sale. Ooh! I'll check it out. Ashley, I'll look for those teaching resources that you gave me. Do I follow you on Instagram? Because I can DM you and see and tell you what I think of them. Yeah, so I'm gonna go unpack some boxes and then stitch a little bit more this afternoon. And yeah, command strips, that's what I have. And at my old house, I was like, these are so wasteful, but you know, I think it's better than, no, I don't know. I think it's better to keep my agreement with my lease person. Yeah, I'm gonna use command strips a lot. I got the ones that are like, you know how Velcro has a soft and then a pokey side? It's just the pokey ones, and they like, they stick together really easily, and then they don't move, they don't fall down, but it's a lot. But you can reuse them. So I would probably be doing that. Have plaster walls with lath. Yeah. I think our last house we kind of poked a lot of nails because we had to hang curtains. But this time we don't have to. Okay, I've been babbling for so long today. I've been talking a lot, which y'all don't seem to mind, so thank you. Thank you. Okay. Sounds good. What's your Instagram handle? We will share our PD wealth. Anything else? No. Yeah, the Velcro ones, they're good. I hung up the puzzle. I think I used too much, but whatever. I need to hang up my tiny things. I'm really excited that my tiny things will be in this. I'm gonna put it in this corner, in my my desk area. My tiny things. Ashley Everingham. Okay, I will add you and DM you. Alrighty, yeah, thanks for hanging out. I miss doing lives, so I'm glad to be back, and I'm glad my setup is really enjoyable. I will get a light soon, so that my stitching won't look so bad, and we'll maybe find a camera. A different camera for my stitching. Alrighty, y'all, thanks for hanging. I'll see you in my floss tube on Wednesday. I'm sure I'll record a ASMR stitch with me this week because I have time. So yeah, see you soon. Thanks for hanging out. Bye.